And I think that's particularly true whenever we look at children's behaviour. Our perception of children's behaviour is so out of line of what they're capable of developmentally. We do not have a baseline understanding of children's behaviour. And then I think this is where parents really struggle then, is because whenever their children are hitting and kicking and biting and throwing and screaming and doing all of them lovely behaviours that we all really want to see, but then we start to doubt ourselves. I'm doing something wrong. I'm a bad parent. There's something wrong with my child. Like all of these things, when they're actually really normal, developmentally appropriate behaviours that you actually want to be seeing from your child, because it shows that their brain's working exactly how it needs to be, that they're communicating all these big feelings with you in a really positive way. So I think even changing our perception of that, because it doesn't mean that you know, obviously we're going to correct that behaviour, because none of them behaviours are safe or helpful. But they're very, very normal. And like even just understanding that as a parent, it takes a lot of the pressure off. Because again, if we're constantly trying to control our children's behaviour, then we're not focusing on what we can control or how we can respond. You know?
Yeah, and that's too, that people think you are your behaviour. You know, I'm Una. There's some behaviours that I display are excellent, and some of my behaviours don't serve me well or people around me. But I am still Una, and often you hear, oh, that's a bad child. That's a bad child. Yes. Now that rattles me now, because I done training years and years ago, and I might have said that in my time. It's not their behaviour.
Yeah.
That behaviour's not good.
Yeah.
You know, you know?
But you
absolutely
behind the behaviour. And what is it you? Because I've practiced this in my house, and that's something that's come back to me. It's come back to Eamon more so than me. The consequence behind your action. It's not you're not a bad boy for doing that, but your behaviour wasn't appropriate, and we need to look at what Eamon spilt milk. And I always tell away to the Ians about there's a consequence for your behaviour. And Eamon spilt the milk, and Eamon came home from work, and Orna said, "Daddy, there's a consequence for your behaviour." And Mummy, what is the consequence going to be for his spilling the milk in the fridge? And it was a wild disaster, and it was also left for the mess. But she said she met him and she said it to him, and she said, "I'm cutting no tea, non-light tea for a week." And he says, "A week?" And she goes,
"Oh Jesus, she was really throwing out the fucking punishment."
Like she was like, "You know, what does he really like?" And she goes, "He really likes tea."
All right, okay.
I'm going to ban him from tea for a week. And that was his consequence, because there's consequences for
our choices.
Choices, yeah.
And it's even like, you know, helping children to see, like, for example, when my two older kids, and at the moment they're kind of in that wee sibling, they're just they're growing up, and they're moving from besties to, like, you know, having their own wee friends, and then trying to kind of figure out how each other fits into that, you know. So we're in different dynamics now. But the way that they've been speaking to each other and kind of behaving with each other recently hasn't been great. You know, and like in that scenario, I can jump in there and be like, right, stop that now, or, you know, don't talk to each other like that. That's not helpful, because this is coming from a place of feeling frustrated with each other. So then later on, whenever they're calmer, we'll have them conversations separately, because again, not shaming anybody, you know, kind of in front of each other, but like even just having them conversations, right? If you keep talking to him like that, what do you think is going to happen? So getting them to work through, well, actually they might not talk to me, or we might not be friends anymore. How do you think that would feel, being in the house with somebody that you weren't friends with? Well, not too good. And, you know, what if you wanted to play a game and he was the only person that could play that game really well? You know, so actually getting them to think through scenarios of how we treat each other. So you can still feel frustrated with him, because what he's doing is actually not okay. But how do you stand up for yourself in a respectful way? So, like, how do you say that assertively?
Yes.
Rather than being mean?
Yeah.
You know,
and as you said, making them feel shame.
So it is, like, I try to say, like, children are learning absolutely everything from us. You know,
They're
so
sponges.
if we see them doing a behaviour that is not appropriate or isn't helpful or isn't serving them in their relationship, our role is to teach, not to punish. So it's going back to say, right, I noticed this earlier. Do you think that went well? How do you think you could do that a bit differently? Do you want me to give you some tips on what I think might help?
And you know what's going to happen, Shannon? In a lot of years' time, they're going to come to you when you've done something, and they're going to come. And how do you think you could have behaved a bit better, Mommy? How could you have managed that?
They do already, you know.
Like you're often going, you can say that to everybody else, but not me.
I remember one time, like, we talk about apologising there earlier, and like I would always go back and apologize, and usually pretty quickly, right? So like I would calm down pretty quick, go up and be like, right, okay, that wasn't handled right, and you know, we need to look at this or whatever. And there was one occasion that I was just so mad, and like we talk about the red mist descended, the red mist had descended, and I couldn't see the wood for the trees, and I was like, I don't even care.
Okay, you were hijacked then. You were totally hijacked. Yeah.
So it did take me a while, and then I went up to my little girl in her room, and I went in and knocked the door, and I said. She just looked at her watch, and then she looked at me and she took you long enough? And I just thought, no.
Red mist back down again.
No, red mist has descended again. That's it. And I was just like, here. So then we talked about that and her expectation of me coming to apologise and, you know, kind of thinking about, well, what was your behaviour? You know, really trying to focus on that then. Is there anything that you feel you need to apologise for? Are we always waiting for somebody to kind of repair with us? Do we feel we can repair first? So, like, as much as these challenges are frustrating as parents, there's always so much for us to learn and for our children to learn in them. You know, and so much to teach.
Shakers, you know. And we don't come into parenthood with all the answers. And even though I was trained as a nursery nurse and you went and did your social work and all, it's so different when you become a mommy.
Yeah.
And a daddy. Like, it's a whole new world.
Even at that, ladies, and I suppose it brings us nicely on, it's the world we're living in. Yeah. And I know at the minute you're doing a lot of work for ending violence against women and girls.
Yes.
So it's a world we're living in as well that's actually having an impact on our children and on the upbringing and how we parent and what's happening. Tell us a wee bit more about the ending violence against women and girls. I know it's massive.
So I think what we recognise from all the research now is that violence doesn't start in adulthood. It very much starts in childhood with the way in which we shape children's brains, you know, and what we teach them about what it means to be a man, what it means about being a woman, what it means to actually manage your relationship, like all them relationship dynamics that we just talked about. And it was really interesting as a starting point for this project. What I done was send out a form called Thinking About Your Family, and that loads of people replied, which was amazing. And thank you to any of you that did reply and filled that in. But was looking at how you were parented, what did you learn about discipline, what did you learn about what it meant to be a boy or a girl and all of that. And it was so enlightening that all of the women that responded, it was like, you know, sit there and be quiet.
Yeah.
You know, be more ladylike. You know your place. Basically, you know, be quiet, don't be angry. Definitely don't be angry. And that leads us into more of that people pleasing, you know, making sure everybody else is happy. And ignoring my own needs, not putting my own boundaries in place, but also not having the skills to put my boundaries in place in an assertive way. You know, so not nurturing that assertiveness. Then for little boys, kind of what we always kind of identify in terms of how their behaviour is responded to is like, that's little boys for you. Boys will be boys. Do you know? So when I talk there about normal behaviours, hitting, kicking, biting, slapping, shouting, all of that.
Boys is kind of normal for them to do that.
Or when boys do it, it's kind of
in the playground. Oh, she's been rough.
That's wee boys for you.
Just resting themselves.
What are they at? Do you know? And we normalise that a lot. And like I said, none of them behaviours are safe and helpful. And children will learn about their behaviour depending on the way in which we respond.
Yes.
So for boys, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to exert your anger in an aggressive way. For little girls, it's not okay to be angry. No. It's not okay to communicate your anger. And you need to shut that down. So then we have two dynamics with one gender who's very dominant in what they're learning in terms of like being aggressive. And then we have one gender who's learning, actually, I need to be quiet and please all the other people around me.
That's so true.
So then we end up with these very challenging dynamics. And then we put parenting in the mix. We put jobs in the mix. We put stressful day-to-day life in the mix. And overwhelm and fight or flight systems and all of that. And then that can be really challenging. So what it's really focusing on is nurturing both boys and girls in the same way. Boys and girls need the same support when it comes to emotional and behavioural development, and they need us to give them both a set of healthy coping skills. They need from us to give them very clear boundaries about what's okay and what's not okay about behaviour, and they need us to nurture their emotions and support them and validate them and all of that. Both genders, not just girls, not just boys. Both need the same support. And like even for boys and men, like, you know, you're a big boy, you're the man of the house.
I know.
you know, big boys don't cry. Come on,
Big
be
boys,
brave. Look after your sister.
Yeah.
So much pressure, you know, that actually it's not okay to show anxiety. It's not okay to show sadness. And now I get to adulthood and I've learned that it's not okay to communicate them emotions with other people. But I'm in a really stressful job and I've just become a new parent and I don't really know where to put myself.
Yeah.
And now there's a lot of pressure being put in my alarm system. And if I've never been taught any healthy skills and my fight or flight goes off,
Yeah.
I can fall into that aggressive category.
Yeah.
And
And
addiction.
maybe have never
everything
been
else.
aggressive
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
You know, so it really is when we look at healthy relationships,
Yeah.
we need emotional resilience. We need skills to manage emotions in a very healthy way. And to be able to communicate with each other, to put boundaries in place.
So interesting.
Like it is, and
Isn't it?
and I can remember I grew up in a state, and I can remember boys maybe hitting you and taunting at you, and then one's going, "Oh, sure, he probably fancies
Fancy
you."
shit. What? I know.
What's that? Oh, I
is
beat me up,
that
and that
about?
means you fan. And I said, "Well, Jesus, what taunting you and picking on picking on you?"
Yeah.
And somebody to come and say that, where, like, what's that about?
Yeah.
And I'm very mindful that would never come out of my mouth.
No.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I suppose it's really out there at the moment. I know
should
that,
be always out.
Aye.
Should
but it's everywhere. It seems everywhere, and we do have a podcast coming up with Women's Aid, Kerry,
Yeah.
Kerry from Women's Aid. So we'll be
cousin.
talking. Yeah,
Ah,
there
is
you
she
go.
deadly?
So Kerry, I think Kerry's actually coming on shortly. So that'll be another really interesting
Yeah.
conversation. And it's something that's like we have families and we work with mothers and like domestic violence and all that. It does happen.
Yeah.
So we're breaking down the shame and stigma of that as well.
one conversation at a time. Yeah.
I know that you're doing a lot of online work, and I suppose that's really. We had spoke briefly at the start, or way back before we hit record again, about the online work, and I suppose
There's plenty of chat goes on
We could be
before
good.
the record button.
could be natter. You've changed the way you're working. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? And I suppose then I can link it back to our podcast because I think we're off the same hymn sheet.
Yeah.
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 So you've changed there's like an online community.
Yep. So I suppose, Kiera, the reason I do what I do is because, like, when I became a parent, I couldn't understand why nobody was having the conversations with me or why I wasn't getting any of the information that I had around emotional ages and stages of development, around brain development, emotional regulation. Like, I just couldn't understand why nobody was giving me this information because that information really supports you as a parent. And I have always been thinking of ways, like new ways of how to get this information out to parents in easy, accessible ways. So one of the ways in which I do that is my workshops. So I'm out delivering parents workshops, and then I do offer one-to-one support as well. But more recently, in the last couple of years, I've set up like an online community of parents. Now it's through a thing called School. It's an app that you can download onto your phone, and it's called the Parenting Collective. And in the Parenting Collective, parents can join for free and they can access a free parenting course that really just shows how parenting has changed through time. And you can be in the community. So you can ask questions to other parents. I post in there regularly. It's just like a wee hub. But then the other thing that you can access on there is the classroom. Now the classroom has got like so many resources. It's actually like, it's amazing. Like I'm like, I wish I had this whenever I was a parent, you know, because in there I have basically recorded everything that I do in my workshops. You can get in there instantaneous. There's courses on getting your children to listen and cooperate. There's courses on managing sibling rivalry.
Wow.
I think there's about 16 one-hour workshops on a range of issues like raising confidence and self-esteem, managing anxiety, mindfulness for parents. So there's loads in there. There's also all the podcasts that I've done with you lovely ladies and others. Short reads for busy parents. So quick reads that you can get on any issue maybe that you're having or experiencing with your child. And then loads of resources. So like more recently, I done a workshop on puberty, you know, having them difficult conversations. How do we talk to our children about sex and puberty and all the changes that are coming ahead?
I'm going to have to listen to that one.
So then there's guides in there. Guides on how to talk to your child about puberty, how to talk to your child about sex, how to address death. You know, whenever maybe a member of the family dies, how do we navigate through that with our child? So There's so much
Wow,
in
Shannon,
there.
that's amazing. And is that funded, or how much does that cost to? So you're saying there's the classroom, and then there's the. So is the classroom stuff you pay to access?
Yes, so that is
Okay.
paid if you come as an individual private
Okay.
parent.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and there's 3 different levels. So the first level, you can access just all the resources and go at your own pace. So
Yeah.
self-directed, just kind of work through that. Each package, you've got 6 months. So 6 months access to whatever in the
Brilliant.
classroom. Then there's a supported parent package, and that's where I run online Q&A sessions and online parent and support sessions once a month. And if you're in the supported parent package, you can access them. So you can drop me a question at any time. Like quite literally, if you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning with your baby.
Yeah, but
feeding your
you're
baby,
not sitting
You're
I'm
not
not
answering
available,
at that time.
right?
No,
But
yeah.
you can send the
Yeah.
message through, and this is the key thing, because I think these things arise in busy family life, and
Yes,
you're
that's
like, I need to do
right.
that, but then you're way on to something else, and it's gone. So
Until it
you
arises
can
again and it's bigger.
literally send through a question at any time, and then once a month I gather all of them questions up and I answer them, and it's recorded and available for parents to rewatch at their own leisure. So in the classroom as well, I couldn't even tell you how many Q&A sessions there are in there. So there's questions on everything. And then you can go more personalised support. So you can get the 6 months access to everything, and then get 6 one-to-one sessions throughout that as well.
Brilliant.
So you can come as a private parent, but then organisations have also like purchased support that they then use for the parents that they
Okay.
work with.
It's a massive resource that you have
It
there.
is.
And I suppose our podcast is our
Yeah.
resource. You're our sponsor for our podcast
Yes.
this season. And the reason why we have the podcast is because it's a massive resource for our mummies, for the mummies that we can't reach, for the mummies that we have that need that wee bit of reassurance. It's something that they can listen to. It's accessible on their phone, in the car, on a walk. It's a wee
In the middle of the night when they
it's
can't
in your
sleep.
ear. Nobody
Yeah.
like you're out for a walking with your pram, and nobody knows what you're listening to. So we understand
Totally.
the massive. This is Fill Ur Cuppa, the Support Together podcast, and we couldn't bring you today's episode without the support of Shannon Hollywood, behavioural consultant. Shannon supports parents with a compassionate, research-based approach that focuses on connection, emotional safety, and co-regulation, not punishment. Her courses and online content are designed to help parents stay calm and confident and connected, especially during challenging moments. And remember to follow Shannon on all her socials. That's the why a lot of words, not a lot of time, but I'm using massive there, but that just shows you how actually big,
How massive it
how
is.
massive it is, yeah. We understand the value there is to the resource.
Yeah.
And the fact that you sponsored us this season is amazing, because I think you understand the value of
Yeah.
this resource. So it's great to have.
Yeah.
It is.
And I love your podcast, ladies, and I love what you do, and I'm very, very proud to be your sponsor.
Oh, thank you.
Because the thing for me is we can all have our professionalism, and I think professionalism is great, and
Yeah.
the learning and the training and everything that we
I'm
get. We're
getting
very
emotional here.
fortunate.
Look.
But the realness of the real talks, like, nobody needs to hear all the research. Like, nobody needs to be like, oh, and this is what happens whenever that, they just don't need that. They need real life. They need you to be a real person so that they can connect with you. And then we can use our professionalism then to guide and to help people understand things. But that's why your podcast is so amazing.
I
because
know,
you're
I'm fucking
real.
tears in my eyes too.
We see, we know for mummies that
yeah.
the podcast, mummies have listened to our podcast and we might never see them.
Yeah.
But mummies have listened to the podcast, and listening to the podcast has made them realise that actually they are normal. And
Yes.
it breaks
Yeah.
down a barrier for them to step forward. It's a very, the biggest and the hardest thing to do is to reach out for help.
Yeah.
So it breaks down that barrier that actually mummies will come to us and say, I've actually listened to your podcast and what you're talking about, that I feel that's me.
Yeah.
And I know now that you understand it and it's not just in my head. So I feel like I can reach out to you for support.
But not even sometimes a mummy doesn't need to reach in for support.
Yeah.
That moves that mummy
Moves them
on,
on,
that
yeah.
conversation. And exactly, we're doing this because of something that wasn't there for us.
Yes.
The same as you, Shannon, and most women who are sitting with a small business and a passion. And I suppose the reason we're emotional is this just doesn't happen. We just don't land here. You know, it's all a part of our daily, you know what I mean? You prepare for it. You're listening to what conversations
Going on.
are coming up. And, sometimes it isn't, this is not easy. Do you know? it's not like, but when we sit down and we get chatting, I forget there's a camera. I do forget you're there. now I remember the kids were coming. But there's times I forget, and we are so passionate about honest conversations. And you're right. Yeah, there's professional conversations that needs to take place. Of course it does. But we have to bring in the human too.
In a real way, though. Like professional conversations in a real way.
Yeah.
And like you said something at the start, we don't have it all figured out.
No.
Like, nobody has it all figured out. And
No.
like, I think that if we think that we do, that's danger zone.
Yeah,
very
because
much
as
so.
humans, we need to be open to learning
Big time.
continuously, like, and that's what our children need. They don't need us to be perfect in any way.
No.
They just need us to be like, maybe we could do that a little bit differently. Maybe we could be
And
open
don't put
to
me on the
learning
pedestal.
something else.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're all going through our own shit
Yeah.
at times, and we're all going through wonderful stuff as well. And what we provide and what you do is as well, you bring that honesty in and show example.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me,
Yeah.
but I tried this, and you know what?
Yeah.
The difference that
Wasn't
made.
too bad. Yeah.
And that's the best gift we can give anybody.
Yeah.
And like you said about, just feeling like a normal person, a normal parent, like I think that is invaluable.
Yep.
And the other thing that I just love about your podcast and the work that you do as well, just normalizing conversations.
Yes.
Normalizing talking about our mental health and our emotional well-being and all of them things like that came with so much shame years ago and it just were like taboo. We just don't talk about it, and I even find that with like the puberty and sex conversation with children, it's like, what? So like normalizing all of these conversations, like and
so important.
having a space to do that. So yous are incredible. Like I honestly, yous are amazing. Yous really are.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take that compliment.
Yeah, do take that. Write that down in your journal
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm going to be doing it. Yeah. We're breaking down the shame and stigma one conversation, one sentence at a time.
And that's it. And I keep saying, we're not doing this
Vanity.
to be famous or vanity, not a mission.
Although we are famous,
We are
we
Are
are.
we
Yeah,
famous? No. But it's not to vanity. It's not to hear our own voices. It's because it's conversations we're hearing coming through our door daily. Daily.
Daily.
Jesus,
Day
that's
in
the
and day
first.
out.
I've done well now because I thought, how am I? I said to Shannon, my words aren't coming out right today. How am I
done
going?
very well.
That was the first word I got twisted.
Yeah.
I'm all proud of myself.
Well, Una, I'm going to move on and see
All
what's
right.
recently filling your cuppa.
What is recently filling my cuppa? Well, do you know, we all headed away. We had a wee night away
Yes, the team.
as a team. We went to see Serena Terry in Derry. So, but it was even just us being, the sun was shining. We were out we had a wee alcoholic, wee tipple together and sitting chatted. There was nobody in any rush, no panic. We booked a wee meal. We sat and we had just a wee bit of banter ourselves.
Yeah.
Wasn't that lovely?
There was no dress. We were dressed nice.
No, I
But
brought
there
a
was
dress.
no-
I don't even put it on.
No.
My
There was no pressure.
No
There wasn't-
pressure. Yeah.
See
you didn't
them
have
kind
to-
of
yeah.
that
Yeah,
means
that's
a
the
while.
Relaxed. And like we could have stayed on and had more tipples,
Aye.
but we had to go for the dinner. It was a good
And then
job.
I had a bit of crack because I'm mad about cushions, you see. Love me
Oh,
cushions.
for
If
sure.
anybody knows
I
Una.
don't think we know that.
Mad about
Oh,
cushions.
Shannon, really here today.
And there was a gorgeous bar. There was a bar, right? And there was a cushion, a long cushion.
like a bolster.
Right, and I stuffed it up, and I love this doll's expressions, right? If we had a video with her, so I says the girls, we says, you see
Mortified.
her. I put it up and round here, right? And
Just for taking it
and
home
the top-
there.
and I actually, I could have got away with it because it blended very well with my curves. And I says, I will take this. And we were about to go, and Kira was like, "You're not nicking that. Are you nicking that, Una? You
See,
nicking
Caitlin
that?"
turned around and she says, "She's all right." She says, "There's only one camera and it's behind you." And I turned right around and looked at it and I thought, "Oh, please." I was going, "You're not." I was like, "We'll be on
waiting
social
her
media
up.
next week. 4 ladies.
Uh-huh.
Who are these people?" I goes, "Whose face is looking straight at the camera?"
Oh my
I was
goodness.
I was just having a bit of banter,
Yeah.
and I actually was
Wasn't
just to
good
see what it
to
would look like being pregnant again. And so we were heading on out. I said, so I stood the cushion up me, and I said, "You go on first." And and she was like absolutely terrified. But I dropped the cushion back at the
Yeah.
And you know,
Brilliant.
even that wee bit of banter, and then we went over to the sweet shop, and we had a
was
bit of
that-
and I like, nothing's a penny anymore. All these
Yeah.
sweets are 5p, 10p,
Oh, I know,
15.
I know.
And I says, "Joey, man, Caitlin video because she thought we were hilarious. Now we were not drunk; we were all good form.
Yous
We're
were-
giddy.
yeah.
And I was like, are they not a penny? He says, no, penny no good no more. And I said, but pennies reach pounds. Pennies and pounds are all them. I couldn't. She was filling her wee bag and...
Oh, what's class? Like a wee old school pick a mix shop.
Oh, lovely.
Do you know, it wasn't these big things, just having
Yeah.
a wee bit of silliness.
Yeah.
Because my job at times is serious, and because of it definitely filled my cuppa.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. Having
And the sun was shining too. It was
the
lovely.
sun here, it's Derry. It looks stunning. Like people were sitting out,
Deadly.
and
Yeah.
you know,
So it just makes such a difference when the weather's good.
and
like
the
everything,
smells of
yeah.
food and barbecues.
Yeah.
You swore
Yeah,
you were.
it's deadly, isn't it?
Carly kept saying we're in Spain, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're
we're
in
in
Spain. So that was good. So yeah.
Lovely. What about you, Shannon? Have you done anything recently that's nice that
Do you know,
filled your cuppa?
I'm going to give a shout out to a local business now, because this has just really changed how I take care of myself.
Okay.
It's the Sauna Shack at Gorchin,
Oh.
run by a lovely fella called Finn, and he is amazing. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it before.
But I think I've seen it up on your socials.
Yeah, it's always in my socials. 'Cause
Right,
I'm
we'll
just
have to look at this
I
place
live
now.
there basically, but so on your way out to Gorchin Glen Forest Park, just on the left-hand side before you come to it, he has 2 saunas, right? So he's built them himself. And then he has 2 barrels for cold dip, but you can go down and get into the river as well. And then you can put the cold water over your head. Now, when me and my friends started going, right, and we, on our way out of it, when we go, we book in for the next month, and we go every month religiously, and we've been going, could be the guts of a year and a half now, we've been going. And I know it when I don't go. Like, I really miss it.
Right.
But it's more than just a sauna. Like, you go and, like, it's a social sauna. So there could just be anybody there. But the chats and the crack and the banter and just meeting people.
You're out with
and,
nature as
you
well,
know,
of course.
You're in nature.
Yeah.
You're walking around your bare feet. You are, like, sitting in the sauna. You're doing the cold water. Like, there's nothing like it. And you go home just feeling so refreshed, relaxed, connected with other people. Like, it's so lovely.
And how much would that normally cost, Shannon?
So
like, is
you
it
can
expensive?
buy like 6 sessions in a wee bundle, which I usually do.
Okay.
But it's £13 a session. £13 a session for during the week, and then 15 at the weekends, because at the weekends he also has a hot tub. Like
It's not
this wee
even dear.
tin bath. And it's amazing. Like,
So
it
that half an
genuinely
hour,
is
an hour,
amazing.
what? Is there time restriction?
An
Okay.
hour. And it is so lovely. So I really want to give a shout out to Finn, because he's just created this. He's built all of this himself.
Wow.
And like, he's just built it, just one of them businesses we've just seen grow. You know, when we first started going, you could have got any slot, and now it's got really busy and people are really taking advantage of it. And it's really lovely to see things that are happening that aren't just the pub or aren't just,
of course.
you know, and like meeting people of all ages, and it's lovely.
Well, here we could have a wee gathering out there. So, what
Yeah.
time is it open to?
Oh, there's different opening
And I won't be
times.
fucking dipping on the. I'll be,
There's
"Ooh!"
different
not
opening
there. Oh, you're
times. Friday morning. I usually go on a Friday morning. And then like me and my friend change it up once a month, you know, to
Right.
kind of hit the wee hot tub as well. We love the hot tub. But yeah, there's different
Brilliant.
opening
We'll
times.
check them out.
Check them out. Look up on the
Good
website.
man.
But it's
Love
Love a
it.
wee bit of self-care too for your month.
self-care, everything's ticked, but my kids are so funny. They're like, oh, are you away to the sauna again, Mum? I'm like, I definitely am.
Like, how
because
dare you
I
look
am
after yourself,
I'm
Mummy,
a better
like.
parent whenever
Yes,
I go to the sauna.
I hear ya.
So I am doing that. That's
Yeah.
ticking that box.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, shout
Go
out to
you.
Finn in the sauna shack.
Deadly.
Good woman.
Well, Mrs. O, what about you? How do you fill in your cuppa?
My cup is actually right and well filled. I suppose I'm just keeping her topped up. Connecting with others
Brilliant.
in work and at home. And making memories. My
Yeah.
sister recently turned 40, and to be honest, and she knows it, and I don't mind saying it, but I did dread the birthday party, because I thought, what an under God are we going to be doing? It was very chaotic, but actually turned out to be an absolutely
Yeah.
fabulous day. We went to a wee shebeen, Keeley House, and then we left it and went to the Manor House and got on the Lady of the Lake boat and did up around the
Lovely.
lake, and the weather was fantastic. Me and Eamon reenacted Titanic, Rose and Jack, and had food and all on the boat, and then we went back then to our wee pub down at home in Edinburgh and had a barbecue and a disco, and I, at the end of the night, I had the microphone and was singing my heart out, danced the whole night long, suffered the next day, but the memories for Louise's 40th it's there.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And like, you think when you're a child, when you're younger, like you'll never, like 40's so far
40,
away. But
yeah,
actually,
no.
like I'm 40 next year, so I'm sitting thinking, what
I'm
am I
40
going to
this
plan?
year.
my God, like.
My
It was
husband-
amazing. It was brilliant. It really was. And like, in fairness, we have well partied out our 40th. We went away with the cousins at the start of March. Her birthday wasn't to the start of April, but we had to work out Easter, and there was a wedding, and there was other birthdays in place. So we did the cousins first, and we recovered from it. Then she had her actual birthday, and then she had her birthday party then 2 weeks
Very
after.
good.
So it was brilliant.
Yes,
It worked out
it's-
very well. And loads of great memories made. The children had their cake the day of the birthday, and we had our party then, and it was
Lovely.
well enjoyed.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You were
Sounds
saying
great.
there you're 40 and
My
now.
husband is now 40 and on the 2nd of June, and then I'm 40 on the 29th of November, so we are
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Do you have anything planned, or are you just going to let it? You can't let it just pass on.
can't
All right, okay, yeah, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
you never know.
I mean, only
Never
for
know
you.
what will be
Not for
advice.
him.
Not
I mean
for
for
him.
you.
No, I'm only joking. We're not very big like party people,
Yeah.
but so it's trying to figure out what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We're not feeling very confident about booking a holiday at the minute with the
No.
state of the world.
Oh, sure, we're heading
Um,
away in May.
No, it's hard to know what to do.
I
like,
know, I
isn't
know,
it?
I know.
Because then like you go and you be fine. It's all fine.
I am with you
So,
there.
like,
No, but I hear you.
yeah.
Well, I suppose just be careful of where you're booking. You're okay if you're
I'm
staying.
here. I
aye.
was just run home.
You wouldn't
yes.
be booking to go away over like Dubai or like that. No, we'll stay closer to home to that.
So yeah, just we'll see. We've
See.
lots of other stuff. Weddings.
It's about
and
celebrating
what
it.
have on.
Yes.
And imagine, like, because I'm 52, like, and I can remember turning 40. And before you ladies, with a blink.
It's a blink, like, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when you turn, oh, justice, that's a different story. When you turn 50, I'll be in my 60s. What the heck? What? I'll be retired and,
Will you?
aye,
Might let you away.
staying in a wee villa somewhere. And
Oh, bliss.
somewhere.
go over
Donegal, I'll be in
Aye.
Donegal.
No, go to
With my
Spain.
long beard. I'll have my hair grow, my chin.
Let her hair grow out.
Have my hair grow out now. Just let it all hang out.
Oh, jeepers, oh. Oh, God. You smell the
Yes, I
cheese.
smell it. I smelt it there about 20
Did you
minutes
bring
ago.
any? Did you bring any jokes?
Yes, I brought some jokes.
did she?
Yeah.
God, now Shannon, she'll be raging
No,
if your
yours will
jokes
be
are
funny.
funnier
No,
than
they're,
hers.
they're really not. Like, they were really.
You haven't
really
heard mine yet?
I am not a joke person. Like,
No.
I'm not.
Oh, good woman.
That's me.
Anyway.
I sit away and try to figure them out.
Okay, I'll start off a couple, right?
Okay.
So why did the cat sit on the computer?
I don't know.
Don't know.
To keep an eye on the mouse.
Very good.
very
Very
good.
good. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And why did the stapler get promoted?
I don't
Don't
know.
know.
It held everything together.
It's like woman.
Huh?
Yep.
Like every woman.
Why did the moon skip dinner?
And you're telling me the big, the full moon out
Yes,
at the
the
minute?
full moon
Yeah,
minute.
1st of May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So why did the moon skip dinner?
Don't know.
It was already full.
Oh, very good.
And we'll do one wee riddle.
Okay.
I didn't actually mark these off the last day to see what I'd actually done, so I could be redoing this here. What is a head and a tail but no body?
I'm very bad at riddles.
Head and a tail with no body.
But no body.
Oh, I know.
Penny.
I know. A coin.
Oh yeah. Fuck's sake, the two of you's got it. I'm gonna have to go again. You can't have one that you've got.
Hey, well, that's an easy one. Now, if I got that, that's how easy it is.
What can you catch but not throw?
The flu.
Kira,
We're gonna have to
you
put
may
you
go
out.
get rid of Mr. Google and go somewhere else to get your
What
stuff.
gets bigger the more you take away?
Oh, I know this one too, I think.
Shannon, let on you don't know it.
What gets bigger the more you take away?
Yeah.
What is it, Sean?
Can I say it?
What it is?
Is it your age?
No, a hole.
Oh, there we go.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
Thank God.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I know.
Jesus, you done deadly.
My
know.
God. Right, so
Well, I
what's
got
yours?
one right too. I'm all
What
proud of
music do Bubbles hate?
What music do Bubbles hate? Pop music.
Well
Oh,
done,
good
Una.
woman.
Oh my God! No fan,
And have you any more?
imagine.
Well, all the kids were giving me ones, you see. So the other
Oh,
one
no, you
was,
cheated then.
what did the hungry clock do?
The hungry clock.
Uh-huh.
Don't know.
Went back 4 seconds.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good
That's a good one.
Very good,
We
Shannon.
have talked for well over an hour.
Yeah.
And it went
Shannon.
like that.
Well over.
I know.
So
it's
this will be
amazing.
split in two.
It'll be split in two. Fantastic. And yet another fantastic conversation.
I know.
There's
Thank
so
you,
much we can talk
Shannon.
about. Thank you so much for being our sponsor. Thank you so much for being our special guest. And for your lovely compliments today. It was just amazing.
And thank you for your
yeah.
partnership work
Yes.
because we do link in with you and you do a lot for the mummies that we support.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you are incredible in terms of supporting me, and I really am so appreciative from the very bottom of my heart, honestly.
Aw.
no,
Thank you
well,
so much.
we're all about women and
Yeah.
mummies
together.
and all, and It's about never knock a crown of another woman's head.
Yeah, and actually, I think this season, season 4 of the podcast is. I'm going to put it out there. It's all about the women because it's all women guests.
I know, but I did Niall, Shannon's lovely husband. I said, somebody come on.
Well, he might have to wait to season 5.
And then he says, but you have to come on. Is he doing one or is he doing one? So I think that'll be a very good,
Oh, well, now you've just took away me all about the women. We'll have to dress him up as a girl.
He's done that many times, so it's
You're going to have to go home and tell him he's going to have to come in with a dress on. Not a wig.
I know.
But that's us, folks. That's it. That's over and done with. Thank you so much, Shannon and Una.
Honestly, thank you,
Mrs. O. Like and subscribe and hit us up and listen to us and download us and
upload us, whatever tickles your
fancy.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
This was Fill Ur Cuppa, the Support Together podcast, hosted by me, Mrs. O, Kira O'Gowan, and the S2 team.
And we couldn't bring you today's episode without the support of Shannon Hollywood, behavioural consultant.
And produced by 9874 Creative.